All college football is nowadays is 18-year-olds driving Lamborghinis to their football games and 27-year-old super senior 8th year graduate quarterbacks that are trying to make it still. That's it. The college football I've came to know and love, it's gone. Well, here we are again. Here we are again. The city is still shut down. They've now officially, I'll show you in just a second. This snow has gone nowhere. And the problem is, it didn't just snow. We got about 3, 4, 5 something inches. After it got done snowing on Monday, late Sunday night and all Monday, it snowed all day Monday. This ice, or not ice, I guess it was like sleet. It sleeted for an hour. So now, show you right here. It's just, we have like a 3-inch layer of ice snow that has gone nowhere. I'm not gonna walk out to the road. I don't want to show too much where I live and whatnot. But you see the mailbox right there? That's the road. It's bad, man. It's bad. And also it doesn't help that it's like 5 degrees. And anytime we get a crazy snow like this, yeah, city's shutting down for bare minimum a week. But that is really besides the point. That's a little snow update. I told you guys I'd keep you updated. I kind of like the weather. I wouldn't consider myself a weather freak, but it's definitely interesting. Storms and like that. I used to watch storms with my granddad all the time. But the reason I come to y'all, and we'll probably finish off this video later tonight, because I don't know if we're gonna lose any more players between now and then, and I kind of want to wait. By this point in time, I'm almost immune to all of this. It is what it is. We can't catch a break. The more news that comes out, it's just bad news. Every time we get an update about Alabama, it's bad. I'll catch y'all later tonight because I assume another player is going to enter the portal and we'll talk more about this. But losing Caden Proctor and Caleb Downs, those are arguably 2 of the biggest losses, and it hurts because it's not easy replacing offensive linemen, offensive tackles, and DBs like Caleb Downs. We'll talk about this tonight in the man cave. Here we are again. Here we are again. Feels like I can't go a couple hours without an Alabama player. And not just, let me get up here and emphasize this. Not just an Alabama player, but a starting Alabama player enter the portal. At least the hot chocolate's good tonight. As most of you may or may not have seen, we posted a video only a few hours ago, earlier this morning, about the Caleb Downs situation, my reaction to that, and I gotta say this before we go any farther, I think I'm becoming a Grinch, all right? Because I am sick and tired of the snow. I'm sick and tired of the city being shut down, and it wouldn't be bad if people in the South were used to it, but it's the fact that anytime it snows here above 3 inches, it happens once every 7 years. It doesn't happen a lot. Just about, yeah, like I said, once every 5, 6, 7 years in northern Alabama. They shut down the city. You can't do anything for a week. Nothing. And here's my standpoint on snow. I love it. It's beautiful watching it fall and whatnot, but I only love it for a day. The second day, I'm like, it's all right. May go sled and build a snowman, something like that. But by the third day, I'm like, all right, look, I'm done with the snow. I'm tired of the cold. Let's get spring up and moving, okay? That's how I view it. And like I said, it is extremely pretty to watch. Love watching it. Throwing snowballs, building a snowman, that's cool and all. But it's the aftermath. It's nasty, and that's a completely different video for a different day. Let's log back in here. Caden Proctor. He will be one of the subjects of tonight's video. Starting offensive lineman for Alabama was going to be really good. I thought we were going to develop him and he was going to even be better next year than he was this year, but he has decided, nope, don't care about Kalen DeBoer, don't care if he's offensive-minded head coach, I'm entering the portal. My standpoint on that is the same thing I've said for all the players that enter the portal. Wishing the best of luck, wish he would have stayed, but all I can do is root for the guys that are going to stay at Alabama, and it's not going to be easy to replace him. That's a hard position and spot to replace. especially for Alabama. Offensive line, and I'd say defensive backs. Those are your, your positions where it's like, all right, you can't just have the next man up mentality, because it's hard to find good DBs and good offensive linemen, because they have to do a perfect job every single play, or else it ruins everything. What I mean by that? Well, a wide receiver or tight end can run the wrong route, and it may not even affect the play to the slightest of bits, and you may never even hear about it. But if an offensive tackle, he slips up on a block or does something bad, the quarterback's getting nailed, and it may be a fumble, just causes a bunch of havoc. Same thing for a defensive back. They have to be perfect on every single play. If a defensive back gets beat one time, it's 7 points. You see what I'm saying? If a wide receiver just falls down and runs the wrong route, it's not going to cost you anything more times than not. That's why I think losing a guy like Caden Proctor, it is I'm not going to say a major loss like Caleb Downs, but it's close to it, man, because you won't experience guys, especially on the offensive line, to come back. Let's be honest, man, and let's call it how it is right now. Currently in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, it is a crap show. A straight up crap show. And it sucks because we're in the worst position ever. And let me explain this to y'all. For the next 30 days, guys can leave Alabama, but we can't bring any in. It's a lose-lose situation. Every time we talk about Alabama football for the next 30 days, seemingly, it's not going to be good news. We can't get new guys out of the portal unless it's from a team like Washington or Arizona, where they just lost their head coach. Turn the lights off. We're getting serious here. Before we go any farther, I had a couple comments I wanted to show you guys. This was on the previous videos from last night where I was talking to you guys. I love seeing what you guys got to say, because it's just an interesting time, not for Alabama fans, but for college football fans in general. This is huge. This is arguably the biggest topic that's ever going to happen in the offseason for the next 20 years to come. I want to read y'all this comment right here. This is from Jimbo9344. Shout out to Jimbo. Lil Bro State fan, by the way. Shout out to Lil Bro State. As a Buckeyes fan, I know what you're going through with the players transferring out. All top tier teams are seeing mass exodus because these kids want to play. They need to be featured if they want to go in the draft one day. Only got so many years of eligibility. Lost 2 really good running backs ourselves. Heck, we lost Joe Burrow because we decided to play Haskins and Joe was too good to waste on the bench. My point is, this is the new normal, and the days of dynasty are in fact almost gone. All dynasty. I think you meant to put all dynasties here. Yeah. Portal changes everything. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is a great comment. And it leads me into a next topic perfectly. What did Jimbo say? Hey, at Ohio State, we're dealing with the same problems. We're dealing with the same issues. We got guys leaving left and right. And we talked about that when it happened. Same thing with Georgia. Remember Georgia a few weeks ago? They had, I think it was like 13 guys enter the portal in one day. The only difference was, and why we wasn't making too big of a deal about it, is because they still got Kirby Smart. This is just a big deal because, and two, when we add in there, Georgia was losing players, but they was also gaining players because everybody could go after guys. The transfer portal window is open. Now it's not open. It's just open to steal the Alabama players, if that makes sense. I want to show y'all this too. This is what former Alabama offensive lineman had to say. He tweeted this out a few hours ago. This is Alfonso Taylor. I'll pop it up on the screen. Matt, pop it up. Best editor on the planet. Players transfer every day. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is being one game away from the national championship game, and instead of running it back, you transfer. On top of that, you get a coach who was just in the national championship game. It's no longer about winning. What do y'all think about that? I think he's right. It's not about winning, and look, I know what you're about to say. Matt, the reason these guys are leaving is because they committed to Alabama for Nick Saban. Dude, I've been saying that the past 5, 6, 7 days. But Alfonso Taylor here, he's also right. Why are a lot of these Alabama players leaving? Because it's no longer about winning championships. College football is not. It's about money. It's about getting paid and getting to the next level. That's all it's about. There's not a lot of these quote-unquote cultures at many programs. Alabama had a good culture when Nick Saban was there, but he left and now the culture's sort of disintegrated. And I know what some of you are sitting there saying, well, Matt, what do you mean all these players care about is getting to the NFL, making a lot of money? It's always been that way. And no, it hasn't. Because previously, it was about that, but it was also about winning while you're using college. Now, it's not. Now, it's like, look, I don't care if we go 4-8, give me the Lamb truck, give me $3 million, guarantee me a first-round pick, and I'm good to go. I don't care about this team. And the greatest example I can give you is Keon Coleman at Florida State. Do you honestly believe for a split second, and no disrespect to Keon Coleman, it's just an example, but do you honestly believe for a split second Keon Coleman really cares about Florida State football? No! Heck to the no! That man don't care about Florida State football. It was a crutch up to get him to the next level. And I ain't faulting him for it. Hate the game, not the player. The problem is in the modern day and modern era of college football with the transfer portal, you can't even have an emotional attachment to a team because if things aren't going your way, you don't fight it out. You don't go through the adversity and obstacles. You just go, oh yeah, this sucks. I'm going to go enter the portal. Therefore, if you never go through battles with someone or something, there's not that emotional bond there. Same thing with relationships. Same thing with your girlfriend and your wife. Some of you watching this video, or a lot of you, you have a wife or you have a girlfriend you've been dating for the past 5, 6, 7 years. And why is your relationship, or I hope, but why is your relationship so strong? Because you went through those battles. You went through the adversity. Your relationship with your girlfriend that you've been with for 5 years is going to be way stronger than the person's relationship with his girlfriend who they've been dating for, let's say, 2 or 3 months. You see what I'm saying? When you're not emotionally invested with a program, you're not going to care. And that's the difference, because Nick Saban, before the transfer portal, yeah, you could say he was quote unquote hoarding all these 4- and 5-star recruits, but he wasn't just throwing them in a storage unit. He was developing them, and by the time those guys became juniors and seniors, they were dominating. All college football is nowadays is 18-year-olds driving Lamborghinis to their football games and 27-year-old super senior 8th-year graduate quarterbacks that are trying to make it still. That's it. The college football I've came to know and love, it's gone. And this isn't even about Alabama. I'm talking about college football in general. Out of every school in the country right now, Alabama has one of the best cultures. But even with them having a good culture, they're still seeing guys leave left and right. Why? Because the NIL and the transfer portal, gosh, man, it's just ridiculous. Here's the last thing I'm going to say. I didn't really want to go on a rant and tangent, but it is what it is. It happens. You see this A on this ball, and by the way, I know the ball looks rough. Had it for, dude, I think I've had this ball for like 10 years. And what do you know, that actually goes with the point of this video. I've had this ball for 10 years. Therefore, it means something to me. There's that sentimental value about it, you know, because it's been with me everywhere I've went along the journey. And I don't care what this ball turns into. That A could scrub off, the Nike logo could fall apart, and this was a official practice ball, by the way. But anyways, the point is, I don't care how dinged up this ball gets, I'm always going to keep it. As long as I don't lose it, but I'm always going to keep it. Point is, you see this A? See it? It doesn't mean anything to a lot of these players. And I'm a big advocate for the NIL and transfer portal, and it has worked out. We've seen great case and scenarios. Number one, of course, the one we brought up earlier, Joe Burrow. Look at him, and look how he turned out. That right there is what the transfer portal was made for. But notice how Joe Burrow, even till this day, talks about how much he appreciates Ohio State. I genuinely felt like he emotionally was involved with that program in university. But what happened with Isaiah Bond, as much as I'm wishing him the best of luck, he was great for us, that's ridiculous, man. He couldn't even give the coach a call back or a text. At the bare minimum, at least say, hey, I'm probably going to leave out. He couldn't even do that. Couldn't even tell the coach he was going to leave. I don't even know what this video's turned into, but I'll end it off with this. You're either going to win with us or you're going to watch us win. Plain and simple. Let me know your thoughts down below about that.